I want to talk about sport, which is quite unusual for me because I don't talk about sport very often. I'm not a very sporty person. I don't really feel the need to bond over people, but I do know people who do sport, and I know people who train really, really hard. Like Sprogler, she wants to dance, and she trains between 15 and 21 hours a week, and she pushes herself, and part of the reason that she pushes herself is because then she can go and compete, and she wins, and she likes it. It's really good for her, and it's given her a bit of a work ethic. I want to talk about these men that are trying to decimate women's sports and have started with girls' sports because they thought nobody would stand up for girls, and then they've eased themselves into women's sports. So Andrea Yarwood is a cheat, and in America male athletes have en masse dismantled women's girls' sports in schools and are winning at every level. And shitty, crappy, rubbish, middle of the road male athletes have decided that they can go and compete in women's sports and easily beat girls, and then end the environment where they can compete, which they've built and which the girls before them have built and the girls before that have built. Hannah Mansi is a cheat. He's an abusive male who wishes to harm women and wishes to use his physical advantage to do so. Now, it shouldn't have been allowed that he was allowed to do that, but he was. And it's up to spectators to say, actually, you're a cheat, and we're not going to applaud that, and you're not getting any fucking applauding for trying to undermine women's sports, for looking for a reason to hit women, and for using your physical advantage over women. That just makes you an abusive male. Of course, that's quite difficult when you've got the media doing what The Guardian did. Lauren Jessica, this is a town, I live in a town of about 12,000 people. It's really, really tiny, and we punch above our weight in Topperden. We've got all sorts going on. And one of the things we've got is a really good fell running club. And people come to where we are from miles around to do fell running and dirt biking and all sorts of stuff, because we're an area of outstanding geographical beauty. And Lauren Jessica never got a bit of shit in Topperden, I know that for a fact. And she ran a fell running club where there were children. Lauren Jessica was a man. Lauren Jessica was a man who was a violent, dangerous, mentally disordered man. And when Lauren Jessica was asked, politely, to provide a testosterone sample, Lauren Jessica then carried out a premeditated double attempted murder. And then because Lauren Jessica is a very mentally ill narcissist, his entire defence tried to centre around putting the athletics club that Ralph Nibbs had worked for on trial for transphobia, and the judge specifically in the summing up said, don't do that, that's not even fucking relevant. So do you know what The Guardian did? The Guardian said that Lauren Jessica's premeditated double murder to attempt to maintain competitive advantage over females, to cheat, was acceptable warning for transphobia. And it's women like Helen Pitt, the journalist who wrote that, who ensured that being trans is seen as absolution for sex offenders. I think by the time the next major competition comes where there are lots of women, Pete Trans should have, because it's just dissonance wearing off, should have spread. But the girls at high schools who are having their sports decimated, they can't say anything because adult women won't say that's not fair. It's not fair. So I'm saying as an adult woman that the move by adult male activists to decimate women and girls' sports started with teenage girls, and it started, you know, and you can see the impact with people like Andrea Yarwood. Hannah Mansi is a male abusive cheat who wants to use his physical advantage to hurt women and to decimate women's sports. I'm not pretending that's a fucking woman. That's not a woman, that's an abusive male. Lauren Jessica was a dangerous male. And the message that you're sending our girls is that their sports are to be given away, that they are not to have an environment where they can train and compete and achieve, and it's acceptable to treat them violently if they object. So as an adult woman, I'm saying that that's not alright. It wasn't alright when Hannah Mansi got the right to cheat. It wasn't alright when Lauren Jessica tried to kill 2 people. It's not alright when Andrea Yarwood and his peers decimate girls' sports in America, and it's not fucking happening here. Our girls have the right to compete and to build their own systems, and we're not giving them away to trans rights activism.